Hello and welcome back to Developing You, where it's all about real questions, real answers, and hopefully some really good solutions, things that you can apply in your life. You see, if you want to grow and expand steadily, you need to create new positive habits. And these questions and these answers are going to enable you to have how-tos to create these positive habits. If you haven't already, consider subscribing because we're going to have an awful lot more to come. Your questions answered are going to give you actions that you can then implement into your life. You see, if you grow slowly but consistently, you're going to keep growing, and that's what's really important. So let's have a look at one of your questions. Okay, this question is about time really, and also about the commitment to yourself. The question is, I'm struggling with not having time to be me. I seem to not be able to ask for things for myself. Okay, now, it's quite common for people to put themselves last. You know, we have so many things we believe we need to do, and of course we do have many things that we need to take action on. But what can happen is we put ourselves last. We really may understand that we need to look after ourselves, but we still don't. We think we're going to look after ourselves when we've completed everything else. But the truth is, there are none of these tasks that are ever going to be completed. We may complete a task, but there will be multiple things that we will need to do in our life, still take action on. And you see, what can happen is we get caught up, we get trapped in the to-do list, the things we need to do. We stop listening to ourselves, and there's a difference in taking an inspired action and doing. When we're doing lots of things, we can get lost in that. But when it's an inspired action, we know it's something that's coming from ourselves, from our intuition to act upon. But how do we ever know what that intuition is saying to us if we don't spend any time for ourselves? You see, this is possibly what this person's doing. You see, they're not giving themselves the time. And the idea is, you know, that we want to achieve all these things. Potentially they want to achieve something in their life. They have and they can feel overwhelmed by those things because they don't spend any time with them. You see, to know what you want, you need to listen to yourself. To know what actions to take next, you really need to trust yourself and then know what those actions are. Feel your intuition or your gut reaction. You need to spend time with you to then act upon those things, to have the courage to act on those things that may feel difficult for you at first. The relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship there is. If you do not nourish that relationship, then how can you build any other? That relationship with yourself is the most precious thing. But if you're putting that relationship last, then actually you're putting all the other things that you wish to achieve last. You're never going to quite achieve them because you're on a to-do list. Doing. Get caught up in the doing and therefore not listening to who you are and what you need. It's essential we spend time, quality time with ourselves. This is one of the reasons that I practice daily. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people practice. They have a simple practice and they repeat it over and over again because then at that point they're spending time with themselves. Now, meditation is an excellent way of spending quality time with yourself. Also is taking a walk. We're very fortunate here, we live in the countryside, so we can go out for a walk. Not a walk, you know, walking the dogs, but a walk, spending time with ourselves. You could just sit and be for a while, not getting caught up in other activities, but just spending a little time with yourself. Sometimes I take a journal and I have a conversation with myself. I ask a question when I feel confused. I wait, I listen, I write, I just allow whatever to flow out. And it's as if I'm having a conversation with myself, spending time with myself. Now, this other aspect of yourself is your spiritual nature. It's your intuition and your guidance. It's your connection to everything. If you like, it's your soul. It's you having time with that spiritual aspect of yourself. And that spiritual aspect of yourself has the answers to things. That spiritual aspect is connected to everything, so it can find the solutions when your smaller physical self, if you like, is struggling. When your smaller self is getting overwhelmed and confused by life, the spiritual side is clear. The spiritual side doesn't care about difficult situations and challenges, because all it really wants to do is experience with you. But it's there for you. And it's always there guiding you and supporting you and what actions to take. But if you do not stop and spend time with that aspect of yourself, how will you ever hear it? How will you ever be able to communicate with it? How will you ever know what actions to take and then be ready to take action? So my suggestion to you would be to spend some time every day with yourself. And I always suggest it. In the framework that I created in the Gifted State, I put a daily practice central to everything else, because you're at the centre of your life. Now, you may not be ready for that practice yet. It isn't difficult, but you have to make a commitment. You have to understand that you can, if you do something for 5 or 10 minutes every single day, then you can build on it. But you must spend time with yourself every single day. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do tomorrow morning to spend time with yourself? For 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes even. A couple of minutes perhaps, just consciously being with yourself. And then you'll prioritise. You'll no longer struggle to have time for yourself, because you'll make that time, and you'll take that time and you will expand upon it. And the other part of this question was, I seem not to be able to ask for things for myself. If you can understand that you must nourish you first before you can develop everything else, otherwise what's going to happen is you won't have the foundations in place. So how about this? Say to yourself, I make a commitment to my well-being first, and I choose to practice 10 minutes every day for the next month, being with myself and having quality time with me. And in that time, I will write down something that I can do for myself in that day as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Write it down, make a commitment, affirm it, and spend 10 minutes every morning before you do anything else, and then just see what happens during that month. Notice every day what you see is happening around you, how you're feeling. And if you can understand that 10 minutes a day could change your life, imagine what 15 minutes would do. Imagine what adding more things into that day, maybe half an hour, where you add some new learning in there and you're expanding. So I hope that was helpful. I know it's very important to me that I practice daily so that I have something to build everything on. And keep those questions coming. They're fantastic. Without you, there wouldn't be any solutions and any how-to, any things to implement. So keep them coming. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and look in the comments below, because I will add other information in there for you. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.